Good morning everyone, it's the 25th of June. It's a Monday morning here in the Southern Hemisphere and it's about 5:45 in the morning. I've got ambulance duties this morning, but beautiful news when I woke up this morning as I looked out there on the eastern horizon. The Seven Sisters, otherwise known as the Pleiades, are rising again early in the morning here in Central Australia, and it is just a beautiful feeling. All those people out there who have an affinity and close connection to the Pleiades star system, isn't it just a wonderful sight to see. So she's rising above our heads at the moment. Tommy's still asleep in the swag. He's having a quiet morning. Hopefully he can sleep up right up until this evening where he's got more ambulance duties. I'm just in front of our world map at the moment. I'm going to give you a look because she's just a beauty. This transmission's coming from Central Australia, which is right here where the smiley face is. There we go. And a lot of our subscribers are all over here. The USA, lovely. And we've got a lot of our mates all up this direction of the world too, out here throughout Alaska, the Kamchatka Peninsula, beautiful spot. And a lot of our other subscribers and Federation members are here in the United Kingdom, and also right down here in the Canary Islands. This one here is a beautiful place to be, and this is where one of our home little islands is, right here in Malta. No dramas guys. It's not so cold last night. It must have only probably dropped down to maybe about 1 degree because there's no frost on the swags out there. It was a beautiful night's sleep either way. So yeah, great news. The Pleiades, the Seven Sisters, those beautiful entities that live out there in the Pleiades star system. It's lovely to see you. Good on you. Take it easy. Oh, and by the way, go ahead Tommy, you've got the news today.
Yes, and good afternoon there boys and girls, and welcome back to Earth Sanctuary World Nature Centre. This is Tom, and it's the 25th day of June 2007. We're a couple of thousand days away from the culmination of 2012, where Project Blue Star comes to a culmination of activity and celebration. Some news for you, again back on the climate crisis, because that is indeed the challenge for the current hour. From some news in from the Science Journal of 2007 suggests that the Arctic ice melt is occurring a lot more rapidly than that was previously expected. In this instance, they predict that the ice melt rate in the Antarctic could be as early as 34 years' time. We could lose all the ice on the Arctic ice melt in the South Pole. That is a little bit of a worry, I think. Further news also states from Greenland, again in relation to ice melt and what they call glacier earthquakes. As early as 1983, they were receiving glacial earthquakes at about the rate of 7 per year. Now, in recent years, from 2005 to 7, the rate of glacial earthquakes has increased to 32 times per year. These size quakes are up around 5 on the magnitude on the Richter scale, so very large, a frequency of 7 up to 32 per year over the last 2 decades. That's an incredible increase. Additional concern in relation to this ice melt, as has been logged on previous discussions, is again the amount of ice and water that is released into the oceans, causing the oceans to literally rise. This additional weight on the tectonic plates puts more pressure around the plates, causing magma to be redistributed and causing an increase in volcanic eruptions as well as earthquakes around the world. Another concern in relation to ice melt is the amount of methane that has now been released into the atmosphere. Methane is 25 times more toxic and more powerful and more dangerous than CO2 emissions in our atmosphere. All this methane that is trapped in the ice over thousands and thousands of years is now being released into the atmosphere, again exacerbating the current CO2 emissions and the rate of climate change. Any person person that thinks that they have a linear time frame and a predictive ability to work out what's going to occur during climate change is kidding themselves. The rate is exponential because things are occurring which are literally outside our imagination and our ability to forecast. We've got ourselves into this problem. Now, what to do about it? Again, it comes back to you and I and our individual impact on the planet, our individual footprint. We need to look at our ability to be conservative. We need to look at the things that we buy every day, the things that we consume, the cars that we use to get to work. We need to put them aside, and we need to consider public transport. We need to use bicycles. We need to look at any other means than burning fossil fuels to get ourselves about. We need to look at our house and look at our lighting. We need to look at our insulation, turn down our thermostats. We need to throw on a jumper. We need to think very logically about our impact. The televisions we use, the washers we use. We need to look at the amount of water we're using as well in our bathrooms and our toilets. Additional news that has come in also points to the increase of fires that have been occurring in the west of Europe, also in Russia and in Australia, which currently states we are having a 1,000-year drought. What's happening with a reduction in precipitation around the world? There's an increase in kindling on the forest floor, which is making them more susceptible to fires, and we're literally getting burn up. Now, we also have to remember that 4 times in the last 15 years, our entire scientific community across the globe has unanimously provided reports urging governments around the world to start acting. So all our world governments have to do everything they can to address the current climate crisis. This is the urge of the people and future generations. They'll be looking back at us in the time to come with one of 2 questions. One is, what the hell were those people thinking when all the scientists around the world and public opinion were urging them to change? Or 2, what an amazing group of people they were when they could change amidst one of the most confronting, dangerous periods in human history to find the moral guidance and the esteem to rise up above one of the biggest problems ever faced, to restore the planet Earth to its rightful generations of the future. So let's be a part of that second choice and rise together and get this planet back into a happy old spin. Now guys, moving on from that, I have some world news for you. The first of which went to parts of China who have been copping some pretty severe rains and storms, again causing landslides and the rest of it. On this occasion, it's caused up to the deaths of 4 people in some of the Chinese provinces, and it's also caused as many as 20,000 people to be displaced as a result of it. Earthquakes have been recorded in Manila. We'll get more information on the size of those shortly. I'm just back at the news desk now. In Greece, additional information on the heat waves that have been occurring there. As many as 30 people have died over the recent week due to some of the heat waves that have occurred there in eastern parts of Europe, parts of Greece, and as we're hearing on earlier news fragments. So Europe as well as the UK have just received some of the highest temperatures on record. Additional news that we had was Thailand. They've just received a 5.4 on the Richter scale. So climate change, boys and girls, is alive and well, but the ultimate change comes from within you. We all need to collaborate, get together, rise up, and shake every one of these stagnant laws around the world that are restricting the changes required for the human race to find balance on this earth. It is a call to action. It is indeed a dangerous time that we live in, but in danger we see opportunity, and this is the greatest opportunity the human race has ever had to rise up and make some awesome changes for a very bright and happy future. So signing out for the 25th day of June 2007, we have a couple of thousand days before the culmination of Project Blue Star 2012, and it's rock and roll here from Earth Sanctuary World Nature Centre. We'll catch you guys very shortly, and keep smiling and do whatever you can in your neck of the wood to keep this boat afloat. Good on you guys, you're champions, and catch you soon. See you later. Bye bye.